Hey, sorry, the video cut out, so, because I had a 10-minute mark on it. I forget that I have a very high quality sensor on there, and it only records for 10 minutes. Anyway, the problem that I have is that I'm overly introverted, or I'm excessively introverted, and I kind of babbled on for a little bit about ambiverts and how people are when they're ambiverts, and that's very fillery, so I'm not going to talk about that. So, yeah, my problem is that I am overly introverted, and I'm kind of reciting things that I've said before because the video didn't record it, so I'm just kind of reciting myself, and it's really awkward. But yeah, people have told me in my past relationships that I am, I don't know, I don't want to say inconsiderate, but they have told me that they have told me things about things that they're going through, and I didn't really portray that I cared about it or how they felt. And there's instances of things that people in my past have said that have, I don't know what the circumstance of it is. No, I know the circumstance. I'm just being dumb. People have my friends in my past. They have expressed their frustration with me for, and it's happened with a lot of people that I've been in my life with. Like they've told me things about what they're going through, and I would leave them unread or leave them unread. Yeah, that yeah, and I don't feel guilty or shameful about it. I feel really remorseful for it because you know a lot of like whenever I went to somebody about something. Typically, I'm not the very best at expressing myself verbally because I'm very much better at writing my thoughts and feelings down. But I a lot of people in my life they kind of they tend to they were there, and maybe not particularly in the way that I wanted, and that's not necessarily for the best. Like if you're being lazy, or you're typically not doing a lot of useful things in your life, and you need someone to tell you that you're useful, but then you continue to not do anything. You don't need to get what you want. And advice wise, you need to have someone tell you, hey, you're being lazy, you need to go do something with your life. There's that typical example, I guess, but that's completely different than being there for somebody when they need you. And I remember back in middle school that was kind of like my driving force. Like my personal philosophy when I was in middle school was to always be there for my friends. Like no questions asked. That was my ideal, I suppose. And I don't know exactly what happened. It might have been just you know adolescence and puberty or something like that. Just that typical thing. But fundamentally, I was very keen on the idea of being there for somebody when they're hurting, and I was very much a fixer of problems. You know, and now people or the people that have been in my life, they didn't want to be fixed. And I realize that people don't want to be fixed, they want to be healed. They don't want help, they want healing. They're maybe, well, not everybody's like that, but the people that I've met down here, they want healing instead of help. That's what I understand now. So But there's been times in those relationships with people that, like, to portray exactly how extreme my introversion gets sometimes, or at this time, was I didn't contact anybody or talk to anybody for 3 months. So, uh, I don't know what those 3 months meant to me. Those 3 months were, well, I saw one person for 3 months, but that person wasn't very much help because there was circumstances that, you know, whatever. I don't want to get into that too much because that's very personal. So I'm getting personal enough by posting this online, so it doesn't really matter. But I'm gonna keep that to myself. But I will say that from what I understand, my life at that time was very interesting because I just discovered the philosophy known as solipsism, and you know under that, it was like my entire world just, it disappeared, and I was alone. I don't mean in like the sense that I was alone introvertedly, but I was alone in the very existential point of being alone. Like, it felt like I was just kind of drifting through life, and I was just, it was a really intense time. And once I got out of it, thank God I did. Like, it was this weird perpetual cycle of thinking, and it was very unhealthy. But I'm glad I got out of that. So anyway, but yeah, that's how bad I don't know if that's a introversion thing or if that's a mental health thing. I don't know what that is. Um, but yeah. It's sorry. I put my foot in the camera. I'm so sorry. um, yeah. Another problem with me is um, I tend to feel very intensely about my relationships with people, or just my relationships in general. And it roots really deeply because I'm scared. I'm very scared of being, you know, not left, but I'm very afraid of losing people because I've lost a lot of people in my life. I'm going into thinking right now because I'm thinking very deeply of times in my life where I've lost people. So yeah, I wasn't crying, on my eye was itching. I'm not fake crying here. Crocodile tears. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah. Also, my head is facing this way. For those that don't know, the right side of your brain is for emotional thinking, and the left side of your brain is for logic and stuff like that. So, body language stuff. I've been watching a lot of body language stuff. Anyway, getting off topic. Anyway, um, what else? Let me make sure the video's okay. It's still going. Awesome. Woo. But I don't know if you guys can see me still. But yeah, I'm very scared of losing people, and I've lost a lot of people based on that fear. It kind of project my own fear of losing people projected itself into reality. I lost everybody. Um, yeah, yeah, I lost a lot of people. I don't mean by death or whatever, but just, relationships ending and stuff like that. Um, I'm not trying to. Oh God, I really don't. I'm not a victim here. If anything, I'm the perpetual like. Uh, what's the word? Uh, I'm the one responsible for a lot of these relationships ending. So I feel very, very bad about that. And there's something very deeply wrong with my perception of relationships. So, well, I don't know if it's wrong, but it's not codependent either. It's my relationships with people are based entirely of like I don't know. It's so weird. Anyway, I don't know how to go on further about my fear of losing people because I don't know how to fix that. Yeah, I'm thinking very deeply about what to say because yeah, I'm still very much confused about everything in my life. Like it's very weird. Like this perpetual time of when I turned 12. 12 was like the age of when I completely decided what I wanted to become. Like I had this enigmatic thought, this is who I want to be. So, and it was at that point my life got very difficult. uh, Not like in the sense of like, oh, poor me, my life is so hard. Poor little white boy has a difficult life. Like bars. Yeah. Um, yeah. Um, sure. Anyway, I'm trying very hard to figure this out. My my relationships with people isn't codependent, but they are very intense. There is a very much push and pull in my relationships with people. There is a lot of it, and I'm very quiet about it too. Like I'll have this perpetual I love you so much and I want you around me all the time, and if someone hurts me, then I get very pathological. I get very emotional, and I'll start assuming the worst of that person. And assuming the worst of that person kind of reflects on my behavior because my behavior is very guarded at that point. So, um, and I'm not a very vengeful person either, but I will definitely push back. Like there was this instance with me and a friend in the past where they were not treating me right and they were being very passive aggressive in the relationship. So I pushed back for a little bit and then they called me out for pushing back. And I had to apologize. Not had to, I wanted to apologize and I did. And yeah, that's another thing wrong with me. Uh, I don't completely understand the phrase taking responsibility for your actions. I don't mean that in a way where, like, I don't understand when I've done something wrong, but I mean, I'm gonna go into thinking here. No, I'm just kidding. God, I'm so stupid. Um, yeah. What I mean is, I don't fully understand what it, what the phrase itself means. From what I understand, it means taking into account of what you've done wrong, admit it, apologize, and communicate with said person you've hurt about what you've done wrong. That's my understanding of what taking responsibility for your actions is. And I've been accused a lot of the time of not taking responsibility from one individual. So, and that's very confusing because when you think about people that don't take responsibility, they don't even take into the consideration of apologizing at all. I overly apologize. Like, I really do. Like, I will. It's very. I don't want to say pathetic, but it's very. It's very down playing. I don't know. Maybe it's based upon that fear of losing people. You know, that's essentially where it is from. That's what I understand about myself. I'm gonna make sure it's still going. Give me a second. Okay, it's still going. Sweet, wonderful. Yeah. Oh god, this is such a difficult video. Oh god, whoever sees this video, I highly recommend you do something like this because it really forces you to look deep inside of your dark self. Um, what was the other? I had another thing in my mind. Hmm. Another issue with me is, oh god, I don't even think I was finished with the other side. I don't even know. I completely forgot. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yes. I was expressing that my fear of losing somebody is the root to my over apologetic behavior. I guess that's what the consensus is with myself. So there's that. And another thing is, what else is wrong with me? Okay. Um okay, so I've been told that I have a big ego and my self-esteem is very low. From multiple people, I think. Maybe it was just that one person. I have no idea. But I've been told that my self-esteem is very fragile and so is my ego. I tend to disagree with that. I don't think very I don't think highly of myself, but I think of moderately acceptable limitations of myself. I guess that's the right one. I have no idea. Like I believe in myself in the concept that like hey, I believe in my dreams and aspirations and who I am, but I don't believe I'm worthless, but I also don't think I'm special. I don't think I'm average. I don't think I'm completely invaluable. Invaluable meaning like priceless and stuff like that. I don't think I'm entirely trash. like I like I'm very weird in that aspect. I don't think about myself in that way that much at all, really. It's very zen like, I guess you could say. Like I don't think of myself at all in that concept. I don't think of what I am. I don't think so. Like I don't think I'm this overly beautiful person and I don't think I'm ugly. I mean, like I look in the mirror as I don't know. Like I look in the mirror and and I feel like that I could change things about my face. Like my nose, it's super bouncy and bulgy and stuff like that. My nose is big. I have a big nose. I have a big head. I have a big forehead. There's a lot about me that's big. Okay, I'm gonna shut up. Like, no, I'm not gonna shut up. I need to keep talking this video, talking to myself because I'm crazy. But what else? I don't think I'm ugly. I don't think I'm unattractive, but I also don't think I'm gorgeous. One thing that's weird